Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning to all the audience. Welcome to the webinar series from the Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment and Information Technology of Mahsa University in collaboration with IMECI Institution. For today's webinar series, we will be having a great speaker with very huge experience to share with us some of his knowledge in the field of his expertise. Our speaker today is Associate Professor, Technologist Dr. Iman Fashi. He has more than 20 years of working experience as a civil and geotechnical engineer. He obtained his bachelor's degree in civil engineering from University of Istahban, Shiraz, Iran. Then he continues his master's degree under the supervision of Professor Dr. Nazri bin Ali at University Technology of Malaysia, UTM, where he studied the effects of vegetation on slope stabilization. After that, he got scholarship for pursuing his PhD that was supervised by Professor Claudio Di Prisco, Professor Andrea Galli, and Professor Francesco Calvetti at Politecnico di Milano, University Technology of Milan, Italy. His research was about soil foundation, and his research area is focusing on suitable and green technology, soil stabilization methods, and soil foundation interaction by applying various methods such as macroelement. Currently, he is working as the Dean of Faculty of Engineering, Built Environment and Information Technology at Mahsa University, Malaysia campus in association with Anglia Ruskin University and University of East London. Without further ado, I would like to welcome Associate Professor Technologist Dr. Iman Fashi to share his knowledge titled with Creative Mind Behind Engineering Project. Alright, Prof, the session is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Hanisa, for the welcome and briefing. I appreciate it. And good morning, everyone. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate that your time that you're joining for our today webinars regarding great minds behind the engineering project and creative minds, actually. So today we're going to discuss how these great and beautiful engineering projects that are available all around us nowadays. You can see many engineering projects. What are the creative minds of engineering behind that? And who are the engineers? And who are the architect, quantity surveyors? And so all the engineers that involved with these amazing, beautiful projects all around the world, and who are they and how they can help us to make our world more beautiful. So, and how we can train these kind of engineers for our current industry demands. So basically, for engineers, they are very famous. This is very famous sentence that it says that by the mornings they are poets. Means by the mornings they are very creative. By the mornings they are thinking that how to make all around us our world more beautiful. So that's why we have the civilization. So they really like a poet. They have this creative minds to make everything more beautiful and more pleasant for us. By the noon, they are humanists. Basically, they are the one that help the human to make more civilized and great environments. Without the engineers, basically, we cannot have the human around us. So they are humanists as a human, and their professional ethics, basically, they are the one that to improve everything as a humanist. And by the afternoon, they are builders. So after all the creative minds, after the thinking that how to make the human life much better than the current situation, so they start building. So they start application their knowledge to make sure they build more beautiful constructions, projects, and many beautiful products all around them. So they are by the afternoon they are builder. So basically, who are the engineers and who can be the engineer basically? So engineers must be advanced in problem solving. So basically solving problems, it is what engineers do. The engineers find the problems, and by their creative minds they are the one that they are solving the problem for us. They are creatives. They must know that for each situation we have different problems. So by their creative minds, they are the one that they can understand how to solve that problem. And they are passionate to help people and make their lives better. Just now, I mentioned actually the engineers are humanists because they really passionate to make their lives better. All our environment and all the new projects that in any situation you can use and get the advantage of those projects basically come from the creative mind of engineers. Why? Because they're really passionate to help people. And they are the one that turn ideas into the reality. So basically, it takes in crazy ideas and saying if they actually is it possible. So engineers sometimes they want to make something strange. At the beginning, the normal people say, "Is it really possible? Is it really true that you want to do such a project?" As you can see, so many projects all around us. And engineers are the one that by creating creativity and advanced solving problem minds, they are the one that turn ideas into reality. So basically, engineers are artists. So most of the time they can say that no, engineers are the one that only use the formula, science, and so on. But engineers are the artists that by using this very rigid mathematic formula and by the science and the art they can solve various problems. So problems are engineers inspiration. So engineers are the one that as artists by making and finding various solutions they can make a very beautiful project. So that's why engineers are like a poet. They are very creative and like artists. So, as an example, we have various amazing examples nowadays all around us, which if I want to mention all of them, for sure it takes many days to complete my webinars. However, I selected some examples just to show that what are the creative and beautiful minds of engineers. For example, look at Denmark's disappearing road, which is really awesome underwater highway. So imagine that few kilometer highway under the sea waters, which is connecting Sweden and Denmark. It is for 2.5 miles, and the tunnel permits underwater travel from Sweden, and it is man-made to come to reach to Copenhagen, Denmark. So basically, it is 55 tons each of segment, which is allowing the trains, the two traffic lines moving on under the sea. So imagine that what kind of beautiful project is going on. And under the sea, the engineers are able to make this creative and beautiful underwater highway. The other great example, especially for us that we are in Malaysia, we can mention about a smart tunnel Kuala Lumpur. It is one of the top 10 world's greatest tunnels. So how is it function? I'm pretty sure everyone use the smart tunnel in Kuala Lumpur. So basically a smart tunnel has 3 levels. And this 3 level, basically the down level always using for mainly for water, and the other two it's roadways. So normally the other 2 level roadways is going on, and the down is for the flowing the water and storm water. So it's a normal situation. When we have heavy rain, basically automatically the gate identify the heavy rain and close the gates for the normal human and any human that they want to run, and they allow all the car pass away, and this tunnel will be transferred to the tunnel that can pass the flow on and active during the heavy storm. So based on this, we have this 3 section that which is automatically closed for the traffic, and it will go for heavy storm. So this great project, you can see that how the engineers think that it can control the traffic, and also it can control the flooding as well. And without this flooding tunnel, for sure many times we could see nowadays the flooding in Kuala Lumpur, and it can control the flooding in Kuala Lumpur very huge and amazingly. The other project that I can mention again in Malaysia, I think everyone aware of the Petronas Twin Towers. They are very beautiful, amazing projects with the great mind behind these projects. And totally, maybe everyone see the total uh, Petronas Twin Towers, which totally around 500-meter height. But can you imagine under these projects, 120 meters underground, they have the foundation. So imagine that how the engines work, that 120-meter down, they make the foundation to construct this amazing project. So geotechnical engineers, they are one of the main and foundation project for each construction site. The other project that we can mention, it is uh, Burj Khalifa in Dubai, which 900 meters, which is amazing in all elevators, height, and how this project, beautiful project constructed. But one of the things that we can mention, for example, for elevators, the elevators, it takes only 45 seconds to go up to level 125 or 24, only 58 seconds. So imagine what kind of engineering projects and engineers and creative minds behind these great projects. So basically, we have many projects that all around us, they are very creative, very beautiful. And when you see those projects, you can say, oh my God, what kind of mind they make this kind of project. So what are the character for engineers that they really want to apply this kind of engineering minds and make the construction? So basically, each engineering mind that we develop our engineering students as well, it has 5 stages. The first is define the problem. Second, gather information. Third, general multiple solution. Then finally, analyze the solution and finally test and implement. So what are these things basically? What are the steps? So at the first steps, we have to define the problem. So as engineers, you have to know what is the problem, how you want to solve this problem. So definitely the safety, the cost, what kind of skills is required, and all the things, and how it's affecting the environment. And we think about sustainability and green technology. So basically, this is how we define the problem. So we have the problem. We want to see, okay, it must be the problem must be low cost, safe. What is the skills that we want to apply? So basically, this is how we define the problem as first stage. Then we gather information. So it's back to the knowledge that, okay, we have to gather the information, we collect the various information, we find out, okay, what are the problems of the current and what are the advantage of a current solution for any problem. By having these problems and advantage and disadvantage of this current problem, we gather and then it helps us to find multiple solutions. So in that case, we have to do multiple solution. We have to have group working, communication skills, and so on. So in that case, we brainstorming with various group working, and we creating the multiple solution for any problem. So now we have multiple solution. What is the engineer's creative mind doing again? Now we have to do analysis and select the suitable solution. So in that case, we have to select the solution, find what is the best solution in case of economic, safe, and we can also trust as projects. We have to refer to various codes. We have to refer to the green technology and sustainability to make sure that our projects giving us the best solution. And finally, we test, implement, schedule, planning, and even in this case, normal engineers, they have to become very good management. In case of managing the human resource, managing the time, managing and planning a project. So basically, how we can develop the engineers that have a creative minds to make this kind of beautiful project and they can complete the 5 stage of problem solving. So in this case, the role of education institute is very important. And in that case, we have to come out with a valid outcome-based education. So in the outcome-based education, Basically, we are focused on the outcome of our graduates. So we want to have outcome of graduates that they are having creative minds. So based on these creative minds, we have to develop a program suitable for this kind of creative mind. We shouldn't follow just simple notebooks, formula, and so on. We must make sure based on this outcome-based education, we develop our assessment, our teaching and learning somehow that our students develop their creative minds. So this outcome-based education, basically we have to give our students three main skills, three main kind of education goals, which is first of all, we have to develop their cognitive knowledge. Cognitive knowledge means what students can develop and think on their brains, how is the creativity is working. Then we have to develop the psychomotor skill. Psychomotor means those skills that it is hands-on. The students, the engineers must be technical. They must know what is the hands-on problem and how to apply hands-on, how to apply laboratory working, machineries, computer software, and so on. And the most important things, which is affective. Affective skills are the one that you feeling, for example, like ethics, which is something that engineers they really must apply ethics to become the professional engineers. They must have a great communication skills. They must have a great group working and leadership skill. And just now I mentioned also about management skills. So all these skills must be developed very carefully for each engineering student to make sure after their graduation they are able to be creative enough and they are able to have problem solving skills. So basically, based on the cognitive, affective, psychomotor, and based on the Bloom's taxonomy, we definitely must design various levels for our students as well. We must make sure that the students start from application, they know how to analyze this, and at the end, they must know how to evaluate various situations. In this case, the engineering students and engineers are already aware how to make sure that they can do the problem solving skills. So in this case, we have to define some kind of skills and advantage for our students to make sure all our graduates they are developing and having a sufficient skills to become a successful engineers, especially in the current industry. So this skill basically based on the engineering standard or so-called for the engineering degree program, we call it graduate attributes for Washington Accord. We should have giving our students 12 skills, which is must coming from engineering knowledge, problem solving, design, until to using the societies, ethics, and then they must go for teamwork, communication, and life learning. So our students must have the combination of all these skills to make sure that all of them are graduate as successful students. So we're going to discuss one by one for each skill. For example, for engineering knowledge, we give the students basic knowledge such as mathematics, physics, and whatever necessary for each field. For example, for civil engineering, the knowledge is like basic knowledge of material, construction sites, for mechanical, for machinery, and so on. Then we have problem analysis. Students must learn how to analyze any problem. So how to do it? Perhaps we give them some kind of problem related to industry and we let the students learn how to solve that. Then the students must definitely have the design and solution skills. So design skills means the students applying their design skills such as projects, integrated design projects, final year projects, which may apply this knowledge to develop a design which is safe and economic, which our supervision. Then the students must have the investigation. Skills means the students investigate what are the current skills, current problems, and current solutions, how they can apply their knowledge, and how they can make a better project after that. Number 5 is modern tools usage. In this skill, which is hands-on and psychomotor, basically students will apply the IT tools, and the modern application of the machinery use to make sure that they know hands-on solution. Number six is very important, how these engineers can be useful in society, how they can become understand about legal and about the codes, various society, and what is their responsibility. For example, we have engineers in societies subjects that we can teach our students on this. Each engineer must know how to apply environmental and sustainability solution. So all the solution must be have a green technology, and we have to think about sustainable development. So in that case, the students and the engineers are aware that those projects are useful for environment. Ethics is super important, and without any professional ethics, perhaps we cannot have a good engineers. Even if you are a good engineer, without professional ethics, basically your knowledge is not very useful. So imagine, think about the Hiroshima, that unfortunately that of course, atomic bomb is a good engineering project, but how the ethics apply and you want to apply and using as a harmful problem. So this is problem of ethics. So ethics is very important here. Individual and teamwork. Having a teamwork in the project, engineering project is very important. You cannot see any projects that only civil engineers working or only mechanical engineers working. All these people must work together. So in that case, developing a teamwork and leadership skills is very important for engineers. Communication skills, how does any engineers develop and talk about the advantage, and they can show the engineers knowledge that they have. It is very important skills that everyone must have. Project management and finance and long life learning, which is all these 12 skills, engineers are able to show all of them which they want to start to make a great project. So these 12 skills, all the engineering students will learn while they want to start apply to the industry. So in that case, how we make sure that our students have a creative mind? So in that case, we must have complex problem engineering. So in complex problem engineering, basically we let the students to think more. So complex problem engineering means, uh, do we give our students difficult question? Definitely no. It means that we want to give our students a problem related to industry and real case scenario, that it has multiple solutions and multiple answer for that problem. So in that case, we may call that problem as a complex engineering problem. Complex engineering, it doesn't mean that we give the difficult solution, difficult example to our student. It means that we give a real case scenario that it may have the various solutions. So students must think and apply their creativity to choose the best answer. So complex engines problem, basically it relate to real case scenarios. So in real case scenarios, basically students will develop their judgment and find the various solution, analyze, and finally find the best answer. This is what we call complex engines problem. So complex engines problem, basically it involved with the complex knowledge, complex applying discipline until applying to the research and literature review, and it must involve with the complex engineering, which is depth of knowledge, until applying all the code stakeholders, various group working and independently high level of problems must solve by engineers. And even this complex problem, it must involve with the complex problem activities. It means that the students must have finding range of sources until apply the innovation and familiarity. So by having all this complex engineering knowledge, basically we are able to develop the engineers, and not only this, engineers are able to apply and solve various problems by applying their creative minds and their art to solve this by mixing mathematics, science, and art. So design your future to design our future. So engineers are the one that driving our future. So hopefully by this short webinars, we understand that how the creative minds of engineers can be developed, and what is the engineering education role to develop the creative minds to make sure that we have all these beautiful and advanced projects all around us. So, thank you so much for your attention and joining our webinars today. I hope that you understand and learn some things that why the engineers are very important for our society, why the engineers are the most creative and a smart one around our us, and hopefully you can encourage to continue your engineers or join us for your engineers program. Thank you so much, and by now I will appreciate your time and have a good time, everyone. Thank you.
We have come to the end of our webinar session. Thank you very much, Prof, for sharing with us this interesting topic, and thanks to all the audience for active participation. Hopefully, the presentation was beneficial for everyone. On behalf of Mahsa and iMaking Institution, we would like to thank you for joining us today. Thank you for your time and patience.
Thank you.